Your first alert forecast with meteorologist Joseph Fain.
Good morning, everybody. 5:47 now, and taking a look at your forecast as we finish out the work week. What a lovely start to the day to finish it out. It looks like the low 60s out there, all the way down to the upper 50s for spots like Oakdale and DeQuincy. Let's take a closer look at Lake Charles. 63 degrees, but dew point down at 58, so there's a little bit more room for that temperature to drop further before the sun manages to come up, but there's less of a gusty breeze to try and cool it down faster this morning. A rather gentle across the area, and those dew points across the board are a little bit lower as well, so that is keeping a little bit more room there again to have it a little more, well, I say more comfortable, but it's already pretty nice as you walk out the door, and we're expecting it to stick around well into this afternoon, so it should be another lovely day to get out and about. Satellite and radar showing no signs of any stray sprinkles, and you'd be hard pressed to find even little stray bits of cloud cover to start the day and mix in with your sunrise, though there will be one or two of them. They're not going to be providing significant shade, and you'll need to worry much more about sunglasses than an umbrella. The majority of activity is much further off to the east, where now Tropical Storm Helene continues to roar further north through Georgia and into the Carolinas, bringing heavy torrential rainfall and still some damaging winds. We'll have more information on that system in just a few minutes here. As for our local breeze, that is shifting too, more out of the northwest this morning, and some quieter gusts as well, still around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and you'll see a few closer to 15 to almost 20 this afternoon. Not quite as much as yesterday, but still doing just as good of a job at keeping that humidity down as temperatures warm up. And if you look at Futurecast, that's what we're expecting. Another full day of sunshine to bring us out of those 60s, back into the low 80s for lunchtime, and an afternoon in the middle to just barely upper 80s for a few spots here. Even the coastline of Cameron doesn't look like it's going to be much hotter than everybody else. So if you have outdoor plans, it's going to be perfect for them for both the afternoon and this evening. And if you don't have outdoor plans, I'd make some outdoor plans for this weekend if you have time, because temperatures will be back down in the 60s as we head into Saturday morning. And it looks like it'll carry for the next couple days with pretty comfortable conditions as high pressure sits over us locally. The remnants of Helene expected to merge with low pressure as it dies down, but that too is expected to drift further off to the east and not back over into our area, so we'll be keeping it nice and dry and sunny at least into next week, and we might have another cold front on the way by then to keep temperatures in check from getting too hot. Here's a look at the radar loop from last night as Helene made landfall in Taylor County in Florida with maximum winds up to 140 miles per hour. Now as it pushes further north, it has lost the majority of its strength. Wind speeds as of 4 a.m. were down to 70 miles per hour, still bringing again torrential rainfall mostly over South Carolina right now, but still expected the center of that low pressure to drift a little bit more to the northwest as the system continues to lose strength. Again, back at a tropical storm now, so that's much less impact than it was even 6 hours ago. But this still means a lot of delays for any travel heading further to the east, and you might want to check if you do have travel plans for any cancellations or delays. And unfortunately, it's not quite the end of hurricane season. There's still a few areas to watch. Of course, there's Isaac out in the Atlantic and another area in the Atlantic basin, but both of those will likely stay over open water and shouldn't be an issue. What we're watching closely is a new area outlined by the National Hurricane Center that could become some broad low pressure by the middle of next week. We'll certainly be keeping a close eye on any progress, but right now doesn't look like it's an issue for southwest Louisiana. But a reminder that hurricane season is not over. Locally, though, we're not dealing with any of those impacts for the foreseeable future here. It looks pretty comfortable with temperatures in the mid 80s daily and overnight staying in the 60s at least through the weekend. Nice and dry in the afternoons, and even Monday as temperatures start to flirt closer to 90. It looks like we might have another front on the way mid next week to keep those temperatures nice and cool. It's almost like October's right around the corner.